Siberia is a 2020 arthouse film written and directed by Abel Ferrara and starring Willem Dafoe. And this is not to be confused with 2018's Keanu Reeves' vehicle, Siberia. And there's a whole bunch of other things with this title, but what is Ferrara's film about? Well, Abel Ferrara you probably know more for raw crime films, you know, Bad Lieutenant, King of New York. But in more recent years, he started to become a very introspective filmmaker, looking back into his whole life, making some borderline autobiographical films like with last year's Tommaso, also with Dafoe. And Siberia is a weird film, but it's the kind of weird that I really love, but it is easily off-putting to a lot of people. It's kind of a surreal, introspective look into the afterlife and a man's regrets, because this is the story of Willem Dafoe's character who is living and working in Siberia, and after an attack he dies, and you follow him in his afterlife, and he meets younger versions of himself, he meets his father, he meets his wife, he meets his son, he witnesses different events from his past, from his life. And he has some philosophical conversations, some very eerie and disturbing encounters, some grotesque and bizarre ones that that come kind of out of nowhere. And I kind of love this. It's the kind of arthouse film that can easily, as I've said, you're likely to be off-put by it due to its style, due to how borderline nonsensical most of it is. I would say it's a mixture of a more grounded version of What Dreams May Come and the climax of The House That Jack Built. It's kind of that film. Less fantastical, but still very peculiar, and I was utterly fascinated by it, especially since I've been working on a surreal horror script. Watching something like this that completely throws a lot of cinematic rules and conventions out of the window for something truly unique and peculiar, it's the artistic shot in the arm I needed right now. Willem Dafoe delivers a really great performance as always. He brings it his all in this role, playing multiple characters as well, interacting with himself. It's brilliant, and there's so many moments that are already ingrained in my head. Like, geez, there's a dance scene that's one of the highlights of 2020 films for me. A pure delight. And the cinematography is very, very good. The way they use natural lighting and more artistic, well thought out shots. There is this clear, like, the constant change of locations from the barren wastelands of Siberia to more warm climates and green scenery and pastures. It's quite the weird film. I didn't get much acclaim when it was released back during the Berlinale Film Festival in February, but I think it's well worth a watch, absolutely. I was lucky enough to have it come out in the cinemas here, so if it's coming out in cinemas near you, absolutely do give this a watch, especially if you're fans of Ferrara and his more recent output. Definitely one of the better films I've seen this year, or at least ones that stood out the most, which is not saying much, but still very well worth a watch. But still, guys, have you watched Siberia, and which is your favorite Abel Ferrara film? There's a plane. Tell me in the comments below. Thanks for watching. To like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.